Welcome to the Employco HR Chat. I'm Rob Wilson. With me is Jason Eisenhut.
Hi, everyone.
So thanks for joining us this week. So right around the corner, Jason, is July 1st. And July 1st, there's a ton of new regulatory issues around, legislative issues around the country. But for our clients and friends in the Chicago area, it's the Chicago Leave Act.
Yeah, coming up pretty quickly. It's a big change for employers in the city of Chicago, or even if you're an employer in the suburbs and have an employee who works in Chicago. It's a big change for everyone.
Right. So for those, I'm sure you're aware, January 1st was the Illinois paid leave and Cook County.
Yep.
Which, quick review for you. For every hour someone works, every 40 hours someone works, they get 1 hour of paid leave, up to a maximum of 5 days. So a week paid leave.
So Illinois and Cook County, it can be used for any reason. Someone could say, now I'm going to vacation in Mexico or California.
Right. They could call you at 7:45 and they're supposed to be here at 8 and say,
sorry, not coming in. They don't have to give you a reason either. So if you find out on Facebook they went to California on vacation, we can talk about that separately. But yeah, for Illinois and Cook County, it's up to 40 hours per year for any reason. Chicago is going to be a little bit different.
Right. So Chicago goes into effect July 1st, and it's much more. It's twice as much.
Yeah. So the city of Chicago will have two different buckets employers need to provide. One is paid sick leave. And both you accrue 1 hour for every 35 hours worked, so you accrue it a little faster in Chicago, but it's still the same 40 hours or 5-day maximum for full-time employees. So you have a paid sick leave bucket in Chicago that does not need to get paid out upon termination. And then a paid leave, kind of like Illinois and Cook County, where it could be used for any reason, 40-hour maximum. So theoretically, if it's a full-time employee in Chicago, you're going to get 80 hours, 40 and 40, to be used, one for anything and one for sick in the city of Chicago. And that paid leave that can be used for anything, part of it depending on your employer size, if you're above 50 employees, that does need to be paid out upon termination.
Right. So that's a big change.
Especially
so you're in Chicago, you've got 2 weeks of paid time off.
Which is really, really going to be a tough hill to climb for a lot of our retail and restaurant clients, or just out in general, because they have historically not, especially if you're a part-time employee, you've probably not been able to accrue time off for any reason, but now in the city of Chicago, you can.
Right. So for this applies to your part-time employees and your full-time employees. So all employees are adding to their bank for every 35 hours they work.
Right.
They pick up an hour.
It's just that part-time employees will accrue it a little bit slower, but even part-time employees will start to accrue paid sick and paid leave that can be used for any reason in the city of Chicago.
And if they don't take it, they get paid for it.
Yeah. So if they're terminated or if their employment ends,
right,
there are carryover pieces where, especially in Illinois and Cook County, if you don't front load it and it's accrual, that has to be carried over to the next year. Chicago's got some similar rules to make sure you kind of contact and make us, if you have any questions about, does the sick leave need to be carried over? Does the paid leave need to be carried over? What needs to be paid upon termination? We'd love to help.
The difference if you're terminated versus if you quit. So there's a lot of moving parts. So best thing, if you do have questions and are going through the process, hr@employco.com. We're happy to answer any questions. The hr@employco.com goes directly to Jason. So he'll get your email, and we're definitely able to help you.
And we have a nice side-by-side comparison of Cook County versus Chicago versus Illinois. So if you'd like to see how those three sections of Illinois compare, the state versus county versus the city of Chicago, we have a nice side-to-side comparison of, does it need to be paid out at termination? What's the accrual? How quickly can they start to use it? So let us know if you'd like that kind of comparison.
Right. When what Chicago goes into effect July 1st, it's one of the most progressive in the entire country.
Definitely.
So you're not going to run into what you're seeing in Chicago in very many cities.
Right.
So, but feel free to reach out to us. Happy to help anytime.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.